Welcome everyone. Welcome to my channel. Welcome to Queen City Reefs and more. This will actually be the very first time that we film a video here in the actual studio. And I will show you around to show you an update on how it's going so far. Things have not moved fast, other than now you'll find that the anemone tank is not in the dining room anymore. It's actually here in the studio, thanks to my oldest son and myself. Today's update is going to be a quick update on the anemone tank, being that it's here in the studio, and an update on what's going on here in the Queen City Reefs studio. I wanted to talk about what's going on and what the plans are here for the future of Queen City Reefs, just because of new news that was actually presented to me, and I had to take some time to think about it and still see what I want to do. And I'll cut straight to the chase. That news is that my job is actually going to start doing layoffs, and we were told that our department they're still making decisions on whether they're going to lower headcount in my department or if there's a need for my team anymore. And they're not being upfront really as to how long, but we were given about a 12 to 36 month period. And if you know anything about the communication business, like cable, internet, TV, phone, things change all the time. New leadership comes along, and I've been very fortunate to be with this company for over 10 years now. And so it's a bit sad. It's a bit sad to know that it may be coming to an end, but it made me think what I want to do. And I don't know yet. I don't have a backup plan, but I did decide that I want to make Queen City Reefs something, and I'm still into the what do I want to make it. But for sure, that's where this frag tank comes in. And I know what you're thinking. Oh, here we go, yet another coral vendor or coral seller, so on and so forth. But I want to make something different of this, because I'm not looking to become rich from this hobby. I'm not looking to be able to support my lifestyle. If anything, I'm looking just to be able to support my hobby, this hobby here that can be expensive, so that I can continue caring for these tanks and not find myself in a place where I'm going to say, oh, well, you know what, now I have to get rid of this and get rid of that, or, anything like that. So my plan is to, yes, create a website for Queen City Corals. Yes, start selling online. A good chunk, a percentage of the corals that I will sell will be definitely from my tanks. From every tank that you see in here, whether it's anemones or SPS or some LPS or some softies, it will definitely be from my tanks. And if I'm able to, get from wholesalers here and there, then I will. But my goal really is to fill these tanks with some of the most sought after corals for my tank, the ones that I've seen that sell the most on Facebook, grow them out and be able to cut from here instead of the actual tank in there, and let those in a tank grow. That's the goal here with this frag tank that I'm going to show you here in a bit. Anyways, I'm talking too much about that. I just wanted to give everyone a heads up that's tuned into this channel, everybody that's subscribed. It's going to be a work in progress. I'm in no rush right now. I want to really plan it out. I want to be able to really think of what it's going to take. And if there's anyone out there right now that is running their own business, I know that I've talked to at least 2 people that have given me a bit of their advice and what they've done and so on and so forth. If you're watching, I definitely would need it now. Those that that are willing to give me some tips and tricks, some advice, be my mentor, in order to get something going here with the channel and with the website, and pretty much Queen City Reefs LLC. I welcome all the advice. I am not looking to compete against anyone. I am not looking to make enemies, because at the end of the day, this is supposed to be a hobby that brings us all together, and so I'm not looking to take anyone's business away. I want to make something out of this. I just don't know exactly yet, but I'll definitely start with selling corals and building a website, promoting that website. definitely a work in progress, and definitely look for any advice. You'll see the links to my Facebook group, to my Instagram group on the comments in the info section of this video, and I welcome you to reach out to me for those that want to give any kind of help or assistance, or advice on what to do, and walk me through, and like I said, be a mentor to me and Queen City Reefs. That being said, so what's going on here in the studio? I'm gonna get behind the camera. I am going to show you around. We're gonna talk a bit about everything that's in here and what's coming to this studio specifically. And I want to get your thoughts. What do you think? What would you do different? What do you like? What are you not too excited about? And we'll go from there. So let me get behind that camera and let's get started. So as you can see, here is the studio. It is not finished. These tanks, that tank for sure is in a permanent location. That tank for sure is in its permanent location. I don't know about this one. Those that know me know that I was trying to sell this tank, and I was actually looking to replace it with an innovative marine all-in-one, either 40 or 50 gallon. I still may do that, but I don't think I'm replacing this one. I think what I'm doing here is I'm gonna drill it by an overflow from one of the online sellers, and then I have a sump that I may use, or I may buy a sump that actually fits under here from a gentleman from my club, and use it for this tank in order to start running this tank, and it might be its permanent location, not sure yet. As you can see, I have tall shelves. I'm still debating on if I want them tall because they're too tall. But the more I can, the more I can stack up, the less room I have to use. And because at some point I'm thinking that I might even move them behind the seats here. One right there, the other one right here. That way we can get more space in here, and I might put one of the tanks that is in the fish room, which is that area over there. We might put it in here and move as many tanks as we can into this studio. One tank that I haven't talked about yet is this one. And so this one, I want to consider my budget tank because I do want to set something up right there, but I want it to be almost maintenance free, and I want it to be budget friendly. So this desk here, or this nightstand, or whatever it is, because it was given to me, then the 10 gallon, I got it for 10 bucks at Petco during a $1 per gallon sale. I've had this laying around for quite some time. I can't remember how much I paid for it, but I'll definitely be running, hanging a back filter. And then I'm gonna put some softies maybe. Not sure yet what I'm gonna do, but I'm definitely open to ideas. What do y'all think I should do with this tank here? It will be, again, very minimal, maybe 1 or 2 fish in there. And then just, I want to make it, a studio with tanks in it. So that's the purpose here. Now here is the Red Sea. Let me change the white balance so we can take a better look at this tank. All right, so here we go. Under more whites, really the white balance, because to my eye it's still a little bit blue. But anyway, so here is this tank. As you can see, it got different aquascaping. It used to be where it was just one big arch on its side, and now there's little arches on top of rock that I just stacked up. This one fell and should really be up there, given a lot of sand room. And so this will still remain as an anemone tank, but I have debated on putting different corals in here. We shall see. One other thing that I've done here as well is I've added 9 peppermint shrimp that I ordered from Algae Barn. I wanted to be specific about the peppermint shrimp that I ordered. I'll put the actual scientific name here at the bottom of the screen. I want to be specific because if you don't know, there are various types of peppermint shrimp, and it all comes down to that scientific name, and some may be the ones that eat your corals. So according to Algae Barn, they have the specific species that eats Aptasia. And I'm not saying they won't eat coral, but at least I know exactly what I'm getting, and it's not those that for sure will, right? Again, I don't think anything's safe. You just pretty much are lucky if they do or don't. In my case though, in the past, in this tank actually, when this tank was in my bedroom, I had Aptasia. I bought peppermint shrimp from Algae Barn. I put them in here and they cleared out all the Aptasia. So I'm trying it again, we'll see. As you can see, the copper band butterfly is still in there as well. and looks like he's looking between the rocks to see what food he gets. He has been picking at it. I have been buying copepods and filling his tank with copepods, trying to see if I can at least have some success with live foods. We shall see. And other than that, there's nothing much more to this tank other than what I just talked about. If there's any questions, anything you'd like to know, definitely let me know. I scraped off the back of the glass in the past video. You'll see that there was a bunch of algae there, so I cleaned that off. Still using the Innovative Marine spin streams, which are awesome for random flow. But one thing I didn't mention before is that I did end up having to add a power head, the MP40s, because when I took down my Peninsula, I just stored these. I decided to bring them back out. I bought a NEM guard for it. And I'll tell you, I like these NEM guards because they don't go over the original guard that comes with the MP40. You actually take it off and connect this one instead. So to me, that's more efficient. And so far, so good. You'll see a lot more flow in this tank. And I like it. I did have one on each side, but I thought that was overkill. Plus, I'll need power heads for this tank when I finally set it up. Now, moving on, this is a Seapora or something like that frag tank. Somebody reached out to me and told me that they're very noisy. I don't know if anybody else has experience with this, but he sent me a video of the very obnoxious gurgling sound that it throws, and it's all because it only has one one drain, and because of that, it's been hard for them to actually get it silent. But I haven't seen a lot more complaints about that, so not sure. I did buy a gate valve to be able to control the flow, and it's going to be going into the reef mat, where it's going to collect all the nasties, and then it's going to be very, very basic. It's going to into this 20-gallon long. I was thinking of getting dividers, but honestly, I don't think I'll need dividers because, again, it's going to go straight into this reef mat. Then from there, there's going to be a skimmer right in the middle, skimming whatever's left that it needs to be skimmed, that I guess maybe the fleece roller didn't catch, and then the return. And that's really it. So I don't see a reason to have dividers other than the bubbles that the skimmer may produce and release from its body. Then I'll consider it. I'm not sure yet, maybe just one divider for that area. But definitely still something I'm thinking about. Moving on, this right here is a 40-gallon breeder. I'm sure everybody's familiar with this. The dimensions of this is 36 by 18, I believe, and 16 tall, with a metal stand that also came from Petco. It does have a lid, but I do plan on taking this plastic thing off so that I can get maximum light in between, but I still want to keep the lid for evaporation purposes. I will be drilling it, and I will be adding a sump to it as well. I was thinking of doing something that one of my buddies from the Raysock group did with his tank, and that's drilling it and putting a canister filter. That's also a thought too of a canister filter, but I'm not too convinced I want to go that route yet. But it will be a minimal tank as well. Like what I'm trying to do, just to give you an idea, is I'm trying to make specific coral tanks. Like for example, Euphilia in here. In the other tank that I'll show you here in a minute, maybe the torches, and then maybe in here all the gonies or something like that. I'm not sure yet. Or maybe like just up to 2 or 3 different species, like put the hammers, the torches, and the gonies in this one, and then softies in here, and we'll see. I don't know, but for now, this is what the studio looks like, and appreciate you tuning in and checking this out. Let me know what you think so far. This is the floor that we redid, and so no longer is it carpet. Let me take you to the final tank that I'm thinking of moving in here. Here is the Aquatop tank that I've had for quite some time, and it came as part of a package. What I was more interested in was, it was an MP10 and it was a Nero 5 that he was selling, and the price on it I just couldn't pass up for the package deal. So I was like, oh, why not? And then I figured, why not set it up? And nobody has been interested in this Klein's butterfly. He does eat coral, but he also loves Aptasia. So one day I had actually put him in a sump because I didn't know what to do with him yet, and I was thinking of selling him, and nobody claimed him. And then this tank started getting a bunch of Aptasia, so I moved him from the sump into in here, and he cleared out the Aptasia in here, so it's been definitely great for that. Definitely too small of a tank for him, but he hasn't grown a lot. Not compared, I actually got him and this bannerfish butterfly at the same time in the same size, and this dude is like 4 or 5 times the size of this Klein's butterfly. So he eats great, he's fine, but you know, do I wish he had more room? Yes. I haven't decided whether I'm going to find a home for him yet, or just keep him in here for now, or maybe put him in a tank where there's coral that he's not interested in, like maybe the Frag tank. But so far I've seen him peck at LPS and SPS, so his last hope is maybe a softie tank that he doesn't care for the softies. Not sure. Finally, we have the Frag tank, and this definitely is not a clean tank. I tend to not clean it as often as I should. Right now it is housing, and I just noticed that it's turned over, but it's housing, let's see if I can, right now it's just housing sun-kissed bounce mushrooms. I have a few of those that I got through a trade. I have a toadstool right there in the corner, a Monty Frag that came off, and I just can't, for whatever reason, when things break off, it's hard for me to just throw them out, so I put them on a Frag, and then whenever I feel like posting it on Facebook for sale, then I do. But soon enough, that website will come, and I will definitely be adding these to a website. But very simple QT tank. I mean, it's not that hard. It's a 10-gallon, literally, in a corner of my dining room, so really there's no excuse. Fish, I get it. Fish might be harder because of the fact that if you get big fish, the 10-gallon wouldn't do, right? At that point, you're looking at a 20 to 30 to maybe even a 40-gallon breeder just to house big fish that you're quarantining. But if it's small fish, this 10-gallon would do. I have quite a few hermit crabs, like a few turbo snails, 2 sexy shrimp. I wish you could see, but that will go with the rock flower anemones. And I will leave these in here for a good 30 days before they get moved to a tank, to make sure that nothing comes with them, and that's it. I mean, I have an AI Prime over it, hang on a back filter, and that's been doing great. All right, so I feel that this video has already been long enough. I know that a lot of you don't like watching the whole thing, so we will cut it here. I hope you enjoyed this update. I hope you continue supporting me in my new endeavor, and I hope that you continue to follow this channel, follow the Instagram page, follow the Facebook page. Guys, gals, thank you so much. Again, I truly appreciate it. I will see you on the next one.